Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zul Irfan Syamaizar bin Syamaizar. Today I'm going to review a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. This book was written by Dale Carnegie in 1936. Despite its manipulative sounding title, this self-help book has been sold worldwide and selling millions of copies and make it one of the most influential books in American histories. Since then, the book has been translated into a variety of languages, including Malay. The book is about 215 pages and has 4 parts. This 4 parts has a total of 29 principles. But in this summary, I would like to simplify it into 7 lessons that we can all understand. Off we go then. Don't criticize others. No one wants to be criticized, even yourself. Criticism is futile because it puts a person in defensive mode and usually make him strive to justify himself. So instead of criticizing, we try to understand them and figure out why they do what they do. This will create sympathy and tolerance in oneself. One of the ways to help people is to use encouragements. Make the fault seems easy to correct. This will boost a person's motivation and the person will continue to take up the challenge. Encouraging small victories can ensure the person to seek victories no matter how big the challenge is. People rarely care much about the details of other people's life or hobbies. Instead, they usually care about themselves and their own life. So the good way to make friends is showing that you are interested in him too. How can you do that? Well, start by showing genuine pleasure when you meet someone. Smile at him and greet him or her. Make an effort to remember their name and be sure to use it in conversation. In short, show people that you are happy to be in their company. Be a good listener can be a huge impact when dealing with people. Listening to others shows respect to them. We all know that we like to talk about ourselves, our achievement, etc. blah blah blah. But to make friends, you should invite them to talk about themselves and listen to it attentively. When disagreement become a full-blown arguments, no one wins. If you can, it is best to avoid them completely. But sometimes an argument is inevitable, so use a subtle and gentle approach as it far more likely to be effective. Rather than trying to prove your case by force, try to lead your opponent to a conclusion in a good manner. So, in these principles, I've been introduced to the Socrates method of persuasions. How, you may ask? So basically, if you can get people to say yes to you immediately, you are more likely to get them to agree with what you want. By discussing something that both of you can agree in the beginning, the chance for others to agree what you want in the end is high. Either you become a leader or just a normal friends. You need to learn how to instruct other people. So, firstly, by making people feel important when asking them to do something for you. You might, for example, suggest they are doing you a favor. Second is to use incentive to motivate people to do as you wish. In the end, both people can gain something. This is my second book from the self-help book genre. The first one is Atomic Habit, which tell me on how to manage myself with times, and this book tell me how to manage myself with other people. I learned a lot of new things from this book, and I feel very glad that I invest my time to read these books, as how it affect my life. From what I can tell to you is I have been more being a listener rather than talking about myself non-stop. I hope I could apply more of these principles with other people in the future.
Dancing goes too far, I've got some money.
What I like about these books is the book is pretty compact, which is about 200-ish page, which is made a quick read, and the book has a short summary at the very end of each chapter, which is great to remind me what I have learned on every chapter. Next, what I dislike about this book is the most of the content of this book is made up from examples and short stories from history. It made me feel like read a storybook, which is not bad, but it's not my cup of tea. My favorite quote from this book is in the last sentence of the introduction, which is, "For the great aim of education," said Herbert Spencer, "is not knowledge, but action." And this is an action book. This statement reminds me to not only take advice from the book, but also apply in the real life. I would recommend this book for young adults and young entrepreneurs. This book covers all the tips on how to make new connections, become a great leader, and a great person overall. I will give this book personally 5 out of 5. If you want to learn on how to sharpen your social skills, you should check this one out. That's all from me today. Thank you.